garners attention for his online posts, but now the social media influencer and motivational speaker is making headlines for the wrong reason. NBC6 reporter Kim Nguyen is live in Miami Beach tonight with more on the arrest of the man known as Brother Polite. Reporter Kim Nguyen is live in Miami Beach tonight with more on the arrest of the man known as Brother Polite. Kim.
Yeah, well, Jawan, the suspect surrendered here at the Miami Beach Police Department earlier this week. Police charged him with sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl. We did speak with his lawyer earlier tonight, who says that these charges are false. This is the mugshot of 37-year-old Michael Nowak Jr., also known as Brother Polite, to his more than 300,000 Instagram followers. Miami Beach police arrested Nowak this week for alleged sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl in a hotel room in February. Police say the alleged victim was the daughter of a woman he was romantically linked to. Defense attorney David Terrace says his client is innocent.
Once the evidence is produced, that he is going to be exonerated. So yeah, not guilty, nothing else.
According to the police report, Nowak, a motivational speaker and author who lives in L.A., asked the woman if he could take her daughter to an after party at a club in Miami. The report states Nowak took the teen to his hotel after seeing that the club was closed. Police say the suspect gave the teen alcohol and started dancing and touching the teen inappropriately, groping her breast, inner thighs, and buttocks. It goes on to say Nowak tried to force the teen to perform oral sex on him. The teen allegedly passed out and woke up to Nowak trying to make her throw up.
These are serious allegations, but in any situation, there is always motive. There is always a lot behind the scenes that the public is not going to be able to see.
The report states that the girl's mother found her intoxicated and possibly on drugs, with severe swelling on her mouth and lips. It later states Nowak told the mother not to call police because it would ruin his career. Nowak was served with a DNA warrant in June and surrendered to police on Monday. Terrace says the police report is only an allegation. And Nowak claims to have written more than 90 books. In an interview, he also claims to have several wives. For now, we're reporting live in Miami.
You landed haymakers on Joe Biden. How do you go from being such a passionate opponent?
It was a debate.
You're considered the most liberal United States senator.
Somebody said that, and it actually was Mike Pence on the debate stage.
Well,
Kamala with the laugh. That's so funny. She kept laughing. Is there something wrong with her, too? The media said Joe Biden's president. Is there something wrong with her? She kept laughing. The media said, what? You
All right, man. What's going on, y'all? How's everybody doing tonight? This is the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, under Commander Joe Yohana. Y'all should know that by now. And tonight is, we'll start the class off. If anybody got any questions that they want to bring out, of course, we got Just Started Paint in the room. We also got Angela Ruiz in the room. Thussie Yim's in here. All right, but for all the people that's hold on, let me share this thing real quick. Hold on, give me 1 second. All right, let me go ahead and share this real quick. Give me 1 second. All right, SUPK. All right, let me see. Give me 1 sec. All right. 1 more second. Let me just share this one more time. All right, now, like I said, man. All right, yeah, y'all come on in here, man. We got Young Man Wood. What's going on? Shalom, Lord of Christ. From what? Michigan zone. All right, Captain LeBron. All right. So, okay, everybody knows what's going on in the news right now. And if you haven't, wait, is it? Oh, wait a minute. I think this is all right. Y'all can hear me? Okay, so all right, so I know what y'all been hearing on the news, like what's been going on with the situation over in Afghanistan. Y'all been hearing about it? Okay. All right. So if anybody knows anything about the war in Afghanistan, it's been a war that has been going on for about 20 years now, right? I remember when they first went over there to Afghanistan, and it was like the Twin Towers came down. I remember what I was doing on that particular time. I remember when the Twin Towers came down. I was what was I was sitting on the bed watching the news, and I seen it or whatever, right? And I remember when they, like, weeks after that, they said that the people were from Saudi Arabia. Y'all remember that? Right, the people were from Saudi Arabia. And then they said Osama bin Laden was responsible for it. And so they shifted, they totally just stopped, they just downplayed Saudi Arabia and then went to Afghanistan. But then while they was in Afghanistan, no, before they went to Afghanistan, they went to Iraq, I believe.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that's what they said first.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what they said first, and then they shifted. Where's Saddam Hussein from? Is he from Saudi Arabia?
No, Saddam Hussein's from Iraq. So they shifted it. Yeah, it was about Osama. Then they shifted it and went back to his name. So look, I'm gonna show a quick video real quick, and it's a little history on the Taliban, and I want y'all to check it out, right? And then this is just for entertainment purposes. Hold on, let me see. Let me share my screen with y'all real quick, and then we'll get into it. Let me see. Make sure we good there. All right, good there. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is the Taliban joint. Let me mute my mic just so y'all don't hear no read.
There can be no peace in a world of sudden terror. We did not ask for this mission, but we will fulfill it.
I completely agree that there are Al-Qaeda and Taliban in both Afghanistan and Pakistan. Certainly they are crossing from Pakistan side and causing bomb blast and terrorist activity in your country.
We must reverse the Taliban's momentum and deny it the ability to overthrow the government. And we must strengthen the capacity of Afghanistan's security forces and government so that they can take lead responsibility for Afghanistan's future.
I've concluded that it's time to end America's longest war. It's time for American troops to come home.
All right, so it kind of was like real quick showing over the years. Of course, you know, they say that the Taliban was just, you know, the worst people on earth, and they're taking all the rights away from the women and different things like that. And the thing that I'm gonna show y'all one more video. All right, now this is really gonna put me right where I need to be. Right now, this is, hold on, okay, right here. All right, that's that. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen with y'all real quick. Hold on, let me remove this. All right, let me go here, and then let me add this real quick. All right, boom. All right, here we go. And this is gonna bring me into what I need right here. All right, here we go. No, them niggas on the plane. I'm about to tell you. Hold that thought. Say that again when I go back live. All right. Now pay attention to them running and everything next to the plane. Now watch. Keep watching. Keep watching that plane. Keep watching. Look, you see that? Did y'all see that? Y'all ain't see that. Hold on. Do you see that, Matalaba? Wow. You know he did, because that's high. You know, even if that joint is like, that's like jumping off of like a, you know what I'm saying, a tall building, because even for a plane to be airborne, it has to be up pretty high to even go airborne. And that's not everybody who fell off the plane. It was still people on there that fell off when it was even higher. Huh? Yeah, they tried to hang on. And they ended up falling to their death. All right. All right. So now, what did y'all see with that in that right there? Could you close the door or something? I'm gonna tell you what I saw in that, right? What was going on here was those Afghan people, they were snaked by the devil. The same way everybody gets snaked in the end, right? Because they believed in Esau. They put, like the general said last night, they put their desert God away to follow after the oppressor's God over here in America, right? And what happened in the end when they needed them the most? He turned his back on them and left them out there to defend for themselves. And now the Taliban came and took the land back over in what, a couple of days? They walked right up into the presidential palace and they good to go. And all of that, because while America was there, they had, the women didn't have to wear the burqa, you know, the burqas over their face. So they had like women that was in high positions over the last 20 years in Afghanistan. They had pictures on the wall of women without their face covered, you know, a lot of liberation, you know. And what America doesn't understand is that people around the earth, this is why they weren't able to beat the Taliban. Because the Taliban, for one, was relentless. After 20 years, they still was not going to settle. You know what I mean? And they would have fought America for another 20 years, right? But my point is to say that one thing that these other nations understand, and this is why they reject the oppressor so much. They reject the oppressor so much because they understand if they accept the oppressor, then they have to accept everything that comes along with it. And what comes along with it? Homosexuality, right? Drugs, hoes, oppression, right? And one thing that these other nations understand and don't want is to be like niggas in America. You know what I'm saying? They fully well understand that they do not want to be like a nigga in America in the ghetto. So if they got to fight from a goddamn mountain for the next 20 years, they'll do it. And as soon as they came to Kabul, which was a strategic foothold that America had, which is the capital, they started painting over those walls that had those women with their faces out. They started painting over that. No, we ain't doing this. Right? They got the dude right out there with the paint, right off the rip. You know what I'm saying? And what we seeing here, when we saw those people running after that plane, is them understanding that they, at that very point, they understood that the oppressor was the devil the Bible speaks of. Like they really, that's when they really understood it. When he got up out of there. And I was talking to the general, right? And the general said that he was talking to at the gym, he was talking to a Afghan dude who was saying that he was part of the Afghan special forces, because a lot of those Afghans that got saved out of there were, a lot of them had to do with like the government and different things like that, like trained by the government and stuff like that, right? Like special forces and things. So the general was filling me in saying that, shout out to General Sharmar, that a lot of these refugees from there is coming to like places like North Carolina, places like, you know, Virginia, you know what I mean? The DMV area, right? And guess where they're going to go? Somebody just go ahead and just say it. Where they going to go? Right to the hood. Like Commander General Yohana said, you about to see chicken spots just start popping up. It's gonna be so much New York fried chicken. It's gonna be a damn shame. It's gonna be chicken everywhere. It's not gonna be no shortage of wings in the hood, because they're gonna be, I mean, you're gonna have chicken busting out the box. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they're gonna get. They're gonna come here. They're gonna get a line of credit, right? They're gonna get the business loans, right? That they send us around the goddamn, you know, send us in loops, and we got to do backflips to get, you know, business funding and all that kind of stuff. They're going to get a new line of credit. They're going to get business funding, right? They're going to get money for housing, right? All those different things they're going to be able to take advantage of by coming to America as a refugee from this place over in Afghanistan. So literally, they're going to come from the mountains, the dirt mountains, and be over top of Black and Hispanic people here in America. And I don't see how we can't, as a people, see what's going on. Why the leaders can't even see that. You know what I'm saying? Because remember when the Syrian refugees came over here? They just stopped talking about it. A lot of times, a lot of us in these hoods, we just think everybody's Arab. You know, I mean, pretty much like we just say, okay, that's just the, you know, like that's one race of Arabs. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like ignorance in a way, because you're like, oh yeah, that's just, you know, that's just Habibi or whatever. But that Habibi is different types of you know, Middle Eastern people. You know, like Assyrians. You know, give me some more. That's over in the Middle East. Saudi Arabians. Egyptians. Yeah, Palestinians. You know, all those different types of people are here, and they're at the 7-Elevens. They're in the Dunkin' Donuts. They're at the liquor stores, right? They're in our businesses that are right around the hood, the chicken spots, the Crown Fried Chickens, right? All of that. And they're there, and they take part in the destruction and oppression of the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right. And what we got to understand is that now is our time to prefer each other more than ever, right? And so let me show you, let me give y'all a scripture. Let me get Hebrews 2:5. I mean, not Hebrews, Habakkuk 2:5. All right. Let me see. Zariah Card, what's going on? All right. George Saunders, all right. Let me see. What'd she say? Oh, Iranians. Yeah, right. Iranians, all of them. Because I seen this one cat. I used to see him every time that I went into 7-Eleven, and I used to see on his car on the like the little the sticker on his window, it said Egypt. And I was like, Egypt? I was like, you from Egypt? And he was like, yeah, man, from Egypt. You know how they talk like the Middle Eastern type accent. And I was like, damn, y'all from Egypt? He was like, yeah, we from Egypt, man. And you know what I mean? He tried to act black or whatever. But you get my point. That, you know, a lot of these nations that do come over here, it's not just one specific nation, it's all of them, right? Go ahead. Who got it? Okay, you got it.
Book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 5.
Hold on, let me get there with you. Hold on. Habakkuk. Sometimes brothers forget this book is even in the Bible. All right, let me see. Habakkuk. All right, we got it.
Book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man.
This is the oppressor right here, right? The oppressor is this exactly fits the oppressor because he's a proud man, right? And remember what the scriptures say. It said that the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, right? Because the oppressor is very, very proud, right? Hoorah! Ain't that what they say? Hoorah! Who's going to stop the United States military? And you see right now, really what it is that America lost. America lost the war, right? Because they thought that they was going to go in there and change those people, but soon as and you know the reason why they rolled out like that? They rolled because they had a deadline. The deadline was September. By September, that was the agreement that the agreement that Donald Trump had with the Taliban, that they would leave by it was by May. But the Taliban was like, nah, if you don't leave within a specific amount of time, then we're gonna just start it up again. We just gonna start getting it on again. So Joe Biden is like, well, it ain't no point in going to war with them anymore because we got other people that's more of a threat to America than the Taliban. So Joe Biden is like, well, we ain't even going to go to May the 1st. We're going to go to September. By September 11th, we're going to have everybody out there with just a few people just trickling down up into the May deadline. But a lot of it has to do with the Taliban saying, if y'all don't get out of here, we ain't coming. They was like, look, we ain't even going to talk to y'all about any type of change because America's like, well, you got to treat the women better. You got to do this and that. And they like, well, we ain't even going to talk about none of that until y'all get out of here. And that's what America's doing right now, right? Go ahead. He's a what?
He is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home.
Say that again?
Neither keepeth at home.
The oppressor doesn't stay at home, right? He's all over the world bringing everybody freedom. right? Bringing everybody Christianity, bringing everybody democracy. He's trying to inflict a way of life on people who have been living this way, you know, for generations, right? And this is what America does. He doesn't do what?
Neither keepeth at home.
Uh-huh.
Who enlarges his desire as hell.
What does that mean? Read it one more time. He what?
Who enlarges his desire as hell.
He enlarges his desire as hell. Go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say, his desires aren't like God-like in a sense, like it's like
you want it a little something. Go ahead.
He's enlarging the condition that he's bringing as he go to these different places, going throughout the earth, looking to see who he can devour. He's bringing, because hell is a condition, so he's bringing a certain type of condition when he comes.
He enlarges himself, right? Like how does he enlarge himself? Go ahead.
With his policies, with his sanctions, with all of the thing, all of his. You can say just all of his policies.
Right, his policies. And then as a result of his policies, what does he take?
He take everything.
Right. You want to say something?
I was going to say by taking land.
Exactly. Get his brother a hand, man. Right. But and you was right too, right? But that's how he enlarged himself, by taking his land, by taking people's land, by taking their, like you said, like with the, putting policies on them and taking all their resources, right? Oppressing the people. And when he does all these things, it brings hell on the people. Go ahead.
Would that be a good precept? What I was saying, he goes to and fro throughout the earth, looking to see who he can devour.
Right. He destroys what? He destroys the food. He destroys the animals. He destroys the water, the air, right? The people, the resources. And when he enlarges himself, it's like it turns everything, every the people that is that has to be under that is hell, right? Read on.
And is as death.
Uh-huh.
And cannot be satisfied.
And cannot what?
And cannot be satisfied.
He just can't be satisfied. He's talking about leaving. He's talking about leaving Afghanistan and then dealing with something else that's going on in the world. Because now they're talking about North Korea. They're talking about North Korea and all that, and that this is why they left, because they have more of a interest with some, what they perceive as a bigger threat than the Taliban, right? And like the general was breaking down, I was talking to the general this afternoon, and he was saying how, a lot of these Afghans that's coming over here are special forces. So just imagine what one of them could do by itself if he really wanted to run amok over here in America. And guess what else? A lot of those people that was on that plane was Taliban, right? You think the Taliban was just, still in the mountains? Nah, they was on that plane acting like they was, oh, no, just want to get saved. When they get right over here, and next thing you know, they end up in a 7-Eleven near you, right? And they're right there all the time. They call them sleeper cells, right? That's people that's already here now. But a lot of those people that was on that plane were Afghan special forces, and it was Taliban on there too. All right, go ahead.
But gathereth unto him all nations.
He what? Say that one more time, please.
But gathereth unto him all nations.
Ain't that what our oppressor does? Hasn't he done that? Is that far-fetched for somebody to really understand, right? If you really think about it critically, you can really see that he has gathered all the nations into himself, because everything that he does, the oppressor does, that's what we have to do. You know what I mean? That's what every nation around this earth does. Right. And we give ourselves over to that because we believe in the oppressor. Just like the Afghan people. They believed that, that he was going to really do what was right, and he was going to hold it down, and he was going to make sure that the big bad Taliban never ever came back, and everybody was going to be able to be Afghan LGBT, right? All the women were just going to be able to be, whatever they wanted to do out in life, right? They was going to be able to reach the highest of heights in Afghanistan, right? And they really believed that the oppressor was going to do that for them. And then they found out that the oppressor wasn't going to do that. They found out what we have known all these years is that his words are smoother than butter, right? And when did they figure it out? When they said, you know what, we out of here. And they like, what? We talking about you leaving? What you mean? They like, look, we out. And boom, next thing you know, they start loading these planes up. The plane, they don't know what's going on. All they know is that we making a run for it. And guess what else? The president of Afghanistan rolled out too. He bounced, left the people. Like, ain't that like a you know how they say a captain is supposed to go down with the ship? Damn. I guess, man, they like, man, look, now it's like all for self now. It's just like, at least go down with the people. I mean, damn, fight. You know what I'm saying? But what did he do? He took the coward way out and just went off to, Jordan or something somewhere. And now he's just, living in exile for the rest of his life. That's like so damn coward. That's a coward way to go. If you got, of course, if you're the president, you got to have men, right? Men who will fight for you. I mean, you have to have some sort of, person that's going to believe in you to some extent, and they could at least fight to the death. I mean, that would be an honorable way to die instead of running and leaving all your people behind to deal with the Taliban. And guess what the Taliban is going to do? The Taliban is going to kill people. You know why? Because those people are traitors. They're traitors, and they traded they traded against their people for the oppressor. And what happened in the end? The oppressor left them to all die and fend for themselves, right? And so if we learn anything from the Afghan people, if we don't learn anything from what's been going on with them, we at least got to understand that the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of. That's right. And the minute you put your trust in him, he will double cross you in the end. He's going to do it. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. He's going to double cross you, and you are going to be shocked. Like the slaves who during the time of slavery who thought that they had a white friend. That's Master Tom's daughter. That's Master Tom's son. Hell, we real good people. And what happened with Master when you really needed Master Tom's son to help you out from getting sold down into Louisiana? What Master Tom's son do? You're like, hey, you calling him. He just like, he ain't looking at you. You know what I mean? Like, Master Moore, because that's his surname, Moore. Master Moore. He just ain't even looking. He ain't even looking at you, right? And you thought he was your homeboy. You thought y'all were cool. You thought that y'all friendship helped you rise above your captivity. And he shows you every single time when you believe in him and you put your trust in him, what'll happen. Hold that. You know which one I want, man. Give me Isaiah 30, man. The trust in Egypt, man. Okay, you got it. Whoever got there first, but hold that other one. That we're gonna go back to that one. All right, you got it.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 31, verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help.
Right. This is what we always do. We always go to oppressors and we look for them to help. Give us jobs. Give us education. Give us anything. Right? Medical care. It's like, this is what we do. We trust in our oppressor so much that it's actually at the detriment of our own self. Instead of trusting in ourselves and trusting in the Lord, trusting in Christ. Could you give me that on the ground that you're walking on? trusting in Christ, not Caesar, not this. This is what the Afghan people trusted in. And what happened to them? They was falling from the plane. They was falling from the plane at 3,000 feet in the air. In their mind, they actually thought they was going to be able to hold on. You know how long you, even if you just wanted to just kind of entertain the thought for a second, right? Let's just entertain the thought for a second. You don't know where they're going at. They're probably going to be in the air for a few hours. So you think that you're going to hold on the outside of the plane, on the outside of the plane for however long they're going to be in the air, which could be 4 hours, 5-hour flight, 6-hour flight, wherever they're going at, you don't know. But in your mind, because you trusted in the oppressor, because you trusted in his God, you thought that his God was going to save you. And what his God do? It didn't save you. It turned his back on you. And what happened? And you realized that while you was falling 3,000 feet onto the concrete. That's when you realize that the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. That's when you really understood it. We got to start to really see these things that's happening and use them as teachable moments, right? We can always use these things as teachable moments and understand, like, you know, so that we don't keep making these same mistakes, right? At some point, we have to really focus ourselves and really change, right? It doesn't really take a lot. It's just, you just have to be, you just have to have your thought process switched up just a little bit, and so that way it'll get you where you need to be mentally, right? Because a lot of us, we ain't in the same space mentally. We ain't in a good space, right? And I remember, who was it? I think it was Tazabah said it, where he said you could tell the state of the people. All you gotta do is listen to their music, and you could tell the state of the people. And what our music is, drill music, and all drill music is. And this is crazy. This is a sidebar, y'all. I watched I listened to this documentary. It was on Spotify. I listened to this documentary. It was about Pop Smoke, and it was like a different part series about Pop Smoke and the drill music scene, right? And I didn't know that drill is another word for kill. That's how. Yeah, that's what the people in Chicago call it. Drill is another, like, a slang word for kill. So it's really kill music. So literally, you got one side, right, that's beefing with another side. Now, this side will kill somebody from this side and then rap about it, right? And then the other side will kill somebody from this side and then rap about it and do a video about it. And then that's all they do. Literally, is just one side raps against the other side, one side kills somebody, shoots somebody, stabs somebody, and they just rap and do videos about it. And then the record companies come in and see what's going on, sign this one, and they sign the other ones. So the record labels come in and sign them, right? Because that's what people want to see, is killing and death music, right? Because that's where we're at right now, right? And it sells. And guess who else is watching? The feds. The feds is watching too. So when this group kills this group, then they get RICO, they go to jail, and then there's a whole new group of people that's beefing with each other. And the oppressor comes in, give him a deal, and the process repeats itself over and over and over again. And this is where we're at right now in the earth, when there's so much more important things that are going on, like the ushering back in of Christ. Right? Keep reading.
Come. And stay on horses.
And
trust in chariots.
Right, because we trust in the power of America. That's what we trust in. So many of our brothers and sisters have been going over and fighting this war in Afghanistan for the last 20 years.
Right.
All while their brothers and sisters have been getting killed over here. Right? I remember the general brought it out. He said, while we was over there fighting, the oppressor, the female oppressor, she didn't got so damn crazy and just got so racist on, black and brown people that they even came up with a name for her. They started calling her Karen because she was just so damn racist. And all while our brothers and sisters is over there fighting a war, all this is going on at home, right? So black man, Hispanic woman, right? You got to get out of the goddamn army, man. Get out of the military and come and get down with the army of the Lord, man. That's what you should be doing, not wasting your time doing that. Because we got brothers in here. They brought out a brother who's in the school that was in the military for 19 years. He was in the army. He was in the military for 19 years, and the brother, he could have stayed one more year and got all his benefits. And they said that even the brother the people was like, well, won't you just stay? You only got one more year, you can get all your benefits. That brother left after 19 years. He left all his benefits on the table to come serve the Lord. Right? He could have stayed one more year and you got all the benefits and got all the, all the stuff that comes along with it. Right? But that brother left. Right? As soon as he learned the truth, he left and got out of Esau's military. Right? And so we gotta, we definitely have to not listen to these Uncle Tom shucking and jiving, no good pastors, right? Who tell our brothers and sisters to go and fight the war, go and fight in the war so that you could be a good American. And no matter what you do, you'll never ever be accepted because we're the one people that has had a hand in fighting all of America's wars, and we never reap none of the benefits from it. All right, keep going.
Because they are many,
and
in horsemen because they are very strong.
Right, and that's all we've been doing is trusting in America. All right, can you go back to Habakkuk 2 and I believe you was at 6.
That's it, in verse 5. And heapeth upon him all people.
Start over at 5, please.
Book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man.
Right, our oppressor is a proud man. All right, go ahead.
Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell.
Right, so when he takes the land and all those different things, he magnifies it to himself. He enlarges himself with, all types of oppression, right? With the land and everything else that comes along with oppression, right? And he enlarges himself. And when he does that, it's hell on the people. All right, read on.
And is as death.
And right, and it is as death because that's what comes with it. Go ahead.
And cannot be satisfied.
Right, and we see that all day, every day. Right, go ahead.
But gathereth unto him all nations.
And he gathers to himself all nations. Read on.
And heapeth upon him all people.
And that's what we see today, right? Go ahead.
Verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him?
What does that mean? What it says, shall not all these take up a parable against him? Want to take a shot? Anybody? So a parable is like a saying, right? Go ahead.
It'd be like Isaiah 14, I think it's 14, where they about Lucifer, like who is this? That they narrowly look upon him.
Yeah.
And they saying, who is this that made the earth to tremble?
Yeah.
Could that be like a parable?
Yeah, it is. Right. But how we know that it's a parable? How do we know that this is a parable about the oppressor? Go ahead.
Because it says all these, referring to all the people whom he made to
keep going, come on.
To follow after his ways and made to drink his wine.
Okay, so right. So okay, because we see the lands that are destroyed as a result of him being there, because we see the people destroyed, because we see all the air, the food, the water, everything destroyed in his path, right? That he goes and he enlarges himself against. Because we see all these things, it justifies the parable, because that justifies the saying, because now we fully understand that the oppressor is the devil. Because that is a parable against what read it one more time. So now all these take up a parable against him. All these things that we reading about, all these things, it enforces what we say, that the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Right? Y'all, you understand? All right, keep going.
And a taunting proverb against him,
Mm-hmm.
and say,
Mm-hmm.
woe to him that increases that which is not his.
Right, and that's what he does, right? He increases those things that are not his. Right? Go ahead.
How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay.
What does that mean? Go ahead. You had the first part. That you had got it. Yeah, you got it. Okay, what do you do with clay? Right, you build things, right? And that's what he does. He builds things on top of people. Right? He builds his stuff on top of people. Right? And so when you look at it, it's like when he builds these things on top of people, right, on lands of people and countries and everything like that, he just makes himself bigger by doing it, right? And so this is definitely talking about the oppressor, right? And go ahead, because how could somebody that came out of a cave, right? Somebody that came out of a cave, eating out of their grandfather's skull. Eating out of his grandfather's skull, right? Like a bowl. Then how can he come out of the cave and rule over us? It would have to mean that it's something that we're not doing, because if we're strong people and we got melanin, ain't that what everybody say? Oh, see, we got so much power because we got the melanin. See, the melanin is where the power is. It's like, well, damn, well, the oppressor don't got none, and he ruling over us. So what the hell don't we got that he has? Right? And the issue is that we got to get disillusioned with our oppressor. You have to literally take back your spirit from this place, because long as you're illusioned, like the Afghan people, they were illusioned. They thought that it was going to be Disney World over there in Afghanistan forever. 20 years is a long time. You start to get complacent. You start to get comfortable in 20 years. You just like, okay, we can do whatever we want. We got nightclubs. We got secret nightclubs that we can go and be nasty, right? We can go. We got the alphabet, community over there. We got the alphabet community. We good to go. We all down in nightclubs, and the women are probably in the alphabet community, right? Ain't got no head wrap on, nothing, right? It was good while America was there to protect them away from the Taliban, and now that the Taliban's back, all of the illusion that they was under is gone now, and now they trying to hang on to a plane. Like me, myself, if I see a plane that's gone, it's nothing that obviously that you're gonna do that's gonna stop this plane. Right. They have orders. The pilot has an order, and his order is to leave. Leave. There ain't no questioning no order. You know what I mean? And so if he has people that's hanging on the front of the plane, he still would have took off. If he had somebody on if he had somebody on the windshield wiper, hanging from the windshield wiper, he would have still took off. You feel me? Like it did not matter. It did, like his conscience ain't coming to play or nothing. We're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes like at some point your conscience might try to, come into play, because you're like, man, there's a lot of people holding on. There's somebody hanging from the windshield wiper. Man, maybe I should just, Maybe I should just disobey this order. This order right here, I follow orders, but this one right here is just a little bit crazy, you know. So maybe I got to use my judgment on this one. You think that they did that? Nope. They still took off. And that shows you how the oppressor is, man. He don't give a damn about your sick granny. You know, he don't give a damn about your kid that's in college right now over in Afghanistan. You know, and that needs to get a better life and go to America. He don't care about none of that. He don't care about the people that helped him. The people that, helped you along the way while you was there for 20 years. The people that told you where the Taliban was. The people that, say, you know what, they over there, they hanging out over there. Oh, they over there. Oh, they over in that house right there. The people that, believed in you. They thought that you was really there to bring peace. And what happened? They saw at the end that his lips were smoother than butter. All right? They saw that his lips were smoother than butter, right? Go ahead. Where you at? 6? Oh, lay with thick clay. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 7. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what you want to, what they're saying right now? They're saying that China and Russia is trying to support the Taliban. And if y'all know anything about those countries are communist countries. And it's showing you, let me show you what it is. Can you hold that? Mike, give me Jeremiah 50 and 14. I ain't gonna hold y'all all night. It's like I just gotta get this out. 50 and 14, the water.
Ready for it?
Yep, I'm ready.
Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Put yourselves in array against Babylon.
What does that mean? First of all, what's Babylon? In this today, what would Babylon be today? Go ahead. Right. Oh yeah, right. Mystery Babylon, right? And so when it's saying that put yourselves in array against Babylon, what does this sound like to you? Maybe if you read a little bit more. Go ahead and read a little bit more. 50 and 14.
Put yourselves in array against Babylon.
About. Mm-hmm.
All ye that bend the bow.
What does that mean? So now that you got a little bit more, what does it mean? So it's saying, put yourselves in array against Babylon, O ye that bend the bow.
Is that like talking like literal, like bend the bow, like warriors in a sense?
Yeah. You want to say something, Mataziala?
I was going to say that there's going to be a conflict.
Right.
Get the troops ready for battle.
Right. Battle formation. Right. If you put yourselves in array, that means that's battle formation. Battle formation against Babylon. Right. Oh, ye that bend the bow. The fighters. All y'all that fight. All the men that got the sword. Right? Today it would be a gun. All y'all that got, that's armed. That's in these places. Put yourselves in battle formation against Babylon. Go ahead.
All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows.
You see that? Shoot at Babylon and spare no arrows. Read on.
For she hath sinned against the Lord.
This is justice right here. This is what we're seeing as justice from the Lord. But the Lord wants to give it to us, but we gotta want it. And a lot of our people are the so-called leadership of our people don't want justice.
Right.
They actually fight against justice, which actually makes them counterproductive. Right? It makes everything that anybody is doing out here counterproductive because you have a so-called leadership of Black people that don't want any justice. How could you not want justice? Right? Because that you can clearly see it because we don't change anything. We don't want justice. We just want America to act right, and we just want to be comfortable on the plantation. Right. On the plantation. We don't really want to get off. We just want to be comfortable on it. Right? So, we share a crop. We don't want to cause no problems. We just want to be on the plantation. And in the 2021, we're still trying to prove that, we just want to be accepted. How can you in 2021 still try to prove that you want to be accepted? Ain't this a fight that we've been fighting for a long time? Right. And we see that this fight that we've been fighting for so long, it just does not do anything. It's just in vain. It literally is in vain. All right, give me some more on it.
Verse 15.
Uh-huh.
Shout against her round about.
Mm-hmm.
She had given her hand.
Mm-hmm.
Her foundations are fallen.
Uh-huh.
Her walls are drawn down.
Uh-huh.
For it is the vengeance of Yahweh.
Who is it?
Yahweh.
Right. It's the vengeance of the Lord, man. That's what's going to happen. Right? Everything that is going on right now, this is prophecy that's playing out. It's not like a lot of cats don't even see it. It's coming out. Things are getting exposed. We see what's getting exposed. I'm not going to give no light to the situation. Right? Hint, hint. Not going to give no light to the situation. Right? But things are coming out. And the Lord is making it. The Lord is making it evident who he's with. Right? At some point, our people are going to have to come around and face the facts. Right. That, we do have a leader. Right? We have a leader. We have an organization that you have to get in line with if we're going to walk out of this thing together. Because other than that, I don't really see too much really happening. Right? We see, I could like, I'm the type of person that I could think critically. Right? I can think real critical about situations. I could be in a bad situation and see the good in the situation. Right? And for a lot of people that, it might seem like that's kind of weird. Right? But like I could see, like, I'll give you an example. When we was at camp, right? We was at Villanova. We was at Villanova camp, and we were when Villanova won the championship, right? Now we was at camp and we was out there earlier, but then they started setting up for the parade, right? Because Villanova was going to do the parade procession. We was on 15th and JFK downtown. So we're at camp now. We're about to try to wrap it up before the crowd starts to, the crowd starts to get thick. But right when we started to get done with the speaking, you know how they put those parade barriers up? So now the camp van couldn't drive up anymore because they had the barriers set up now, so you couldn't walk off into the street anymore. So now the van can't come down. So as we starting to come down to break down camp, here it's like, man, it just started. I mean, the crowd just started coming. It was just a crowd, and then the crowd got bigger and bigger and bigger. Next thing you know, you had the foolish Muslims that was in the crowd, right? From whatever goddamn mosque they was in, they was siding with the oppressor against us. We was out there like literally. I'm getting to my point, but we was literally out there like we had it set up, so we had like a semicircle. So we got like Edomites trying to, the oppressor trying to walk through us, like trying to walk through us. So we like, nah, walk around. You know how we do. We're very professional. So we giving them the hand, like, go that way. You're not gonna walk through our circle. Right. So they like, the Muslim cats out there like, you can walk through them. They ain't nobody. To hell with them. You can walk through them. And then the people, it was a bunch of the oppressor, and they started chanting, "We love white people. We love," you know what I mean? Blowing the horns, you know them horns they be had. We love, right? They started doing that, right? And it started come like a real big chant. And then the Muslim cats that was out there, they was chanting with them and had their arms around them like, "We love white people. We love white people." Like, you know how like usually when we be out of camp, you know how some people that, our people that don't agree with what we're saying, as a way to try to show disrespect to us, they'll go and hug the oppressor in front of us. or they'll go and hug them and kiss them on the cheek, or or really just be overly friendly with the oppressor because that's their way of being disrespectful towards us. And this is what they were doing that day. But I'm getting to my point where I can see the bad, like bad things can happen, but I can see the good in it, right? So now the crowd starts to get crazy. Now, long story short, it starts to get to where some other cats that had a beef with the camp came up. So now you had the Muslim cats, you had these other cats, you had the crowd, and everybody was just amped up. And next thing you know, they start throwing stuff at us, right? They start throwing milk, water bottles, apples, you know what I'm saying? Pretzels, cheese. That the cheese that you dip the pretzel in, that was coming, right? So all these things is happening. We're getting stuff thrown at us and stuff like that. And while all that was going on, and that's a bad situation, but in that moment right there, I absolutely knew I was in the right place. Because I looked around and I'm like, how can everybody hate what we're saying if we're only saying what's in the Bible? Right. And what's absolutely right according to the Bible. We're not saying anything bad. We're just saying is simply stating the facts of what black and brown people go through in America and the oppression that we suffer at the hands of the oppressor. And that's all we were talking about. And everybody hated it. Even our own people hated it. And in that moment, I was like, I'm in the right place right now. This is right. You know what I mean? It was like, it just really I knew it before because I was already in the school. But at that moment, it was like, I just seen it. And it just made perfect sense where I was at. It made perfect sense while we were there. The police seen us and they just kept walking. They seen the crowd was getting unruly with us. They seen all that and they ain't do nothing because the cops was like, okay, cool. We just gonna let the crowd wash them up. You know what I'm saying? That's what the police thought. But then it was like, we held our ground, and then it ended up coming where the cops eventually came over there, seen what was going on, and they was just like, we gotta stop this. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? But you get my point. My point is that you got to be able to see these bad things that happen to our people, man. You got to be able to be in a situation and then still see the good in the situation. Now, a lot of things that we endure in America is bad, but you got to see the good in it. And the good in it is us understanding who the devil is and understanding who our enemies are. And it should make you understand that you should prefer your brothers and sisters over everybody else. And if you can't see that and understand that, then nigga, you's a fool, man. You a fool. You what's that word I'm looking for? You smoking flocka. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's Salaki, y'all, you know what I'm saying? But it just, people just gotta like really see what's going on, man, and think of it critically with a clear mind. Go ahead.
It's crazy. They call us animals and they say they got class and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's class? Y'all supposed to be the better race, so-called better race, and y'all handle yourselves like that? Like,
yeah.
That's how y'all treat people? Like, that's crazy.
Right. Like, okay, you got to think of it like this too. We civilized them.
That's right.
Right, we civilized them because otherwise they wouldn't shave, they wouldn't do nothing. They wouldn't even remember in Europe they used to let the animals sleep in the house. Like straight up, just pigs, cows, everything in the house. Right? And then we come along, we're like, yo, man, they should be outside. You know what I'm saying? They should just throw the trash in the street. You know what I'm saying? So like we civilized them, right? And so what we got to do is we got to stop. Mataza Pa say it all the time. We got to stop looking to them as what, and trusting in them when all the evidence shows and the Lord trying to show us that we should not be doing that, right? Go ahead. Any more on that scripture? I think that was it, right? Go ahead. Start from the top of the verse. You're right. 15.
Shout against her round about. She have given her hand.
Mm-hmm.
Her foundations are fallen.
Mm-hmm.
Her walls are thrown down.
Mm-hmm.
For it is the vengeance of Yahweh. Take vengeance upon her, as she have done. Do unto her. Keep going.
Is there any more? That's it. All right. So you get my point, right? So let me go back to the Habakkuk, right? I believe you was on 6. verse 7. Could you read 6 and then we'll come down to 7? If you don't mind.
Book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his?
Right, because this is what the oppressor did. He went over there and tried to take what the Afghan people had over there. And we know what it is. Come on now. We know that it's that poppy, right? Come on now. They got the good stuff too. They got the stuff. You think the stuff is making the fiends lean now. If they had that stuff from over there, that black tar heroin, woo, it'd just be everybody just OD, right? You would just have ODs all night, right? Because they got the pure stuff over there. And guess what? America's been taking it for the last 20 years. I don't think y'all know right there on the bridge, coming from South Bridge, right? You know where the down in Wilmington where the 4th Street police station is? like okay, Matalapa, you know what I'm talking about, right? Going over South Bridge, right? That bridge right there has that water, that body of water right there. There's a company right there. It's a company that's on the water, but you got to go to get there. You got to go like in the back, right? To get there, you got to go down this road to get to that company, and it's called Naramco. Naramco. When you go to Naramco, their sign on for the building is a poppy plant, because what they do is they take the raw poppy and they what's that word I'm looking for? They take the raw poppy and they make it into, what do you say? Right, and they extract the whatever they got to do with it, and they make it into Oxycontin. What's that other stuff, huh? Percocets, Xanax, all that kind of stuff, all the opiates, right? And they take that, and guess what they do with it? They put it into CVS, put it into the Walgreens. They stock up the drug house. It's like a goddamn parallel to the streets. It's like that's where they get their shipments in. No, people don't even know that. A lot of people don't even know it's back there. I worked in there because of to do electrical work. You know what I mean? But that's what's there. And they got pallets. They got pallets of Oxycontin and all kinds of stuff in there. And you have to have like a certain like type of clearance to even be in there. Yeah, to even get in there. And when they be bringing it in, they bring it in on a ship, and they have like armed security that transport it in, and then they process it, and then they make the pills and they put it out into CVS, Walgreens, and all the drugstores. It's just like a damn drug house. It's just the same parallel, right? But that's what they've been doing for the last 20 years, man. They ain't been helping those people. They've been actually oppressing those people, right? Read on.
How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 7, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee,
mm-hmm.
and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them?
That's right. Because there's going to come a time, man. You know, a good precept for this would be where it says they had laid a wound upon thee in Obadiah, when it talks about they had laid a wound upon thee. Like, these are the other nations. They're going to get together. These other nations are going to understand that they have a common enemy, right? And what do they say? An enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? So they're going to end up, at some point, they're going to put their differences aside. They're going to put their differences aside, and they're going to say, you know what? We got to stop fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? Because these people, when we divide it, they're able to rule over us. So if I'm the next person that they say is a dictator, what's going to stop them coming for me? And these other nations are going to start to understand that, and then they're going to do exactly what Jeremiah 50:14 said. They're going to put themselves in array against Babylon. And guess what? And you know what's going to happen? Nuclear war. And that's when Christ is going to return.
That's right.
Right there. And what we're trying to tell people now It's not to scare you or anything like that, but it's to let you understand, make you understand that everything that's in this Bible is real. It's real. It's came true. It's coming to pass. Ain't nobody got the breakdowns like we got the breakdown to understand this in a way that we understand it. You can't do it. And you would at least have to concede that what we're talking about, it has to be some truth to it. Because we ain't just no dumb niggas in here. You got brothers in here with bachelor's, master's degrees, all kinds of accolades. We're not dumb by a long shot, right? Brothers in here are very, very learned, right? Because when you think about it, right? I've been in this school for 7 years. 7 years. Now, think about that. I've been in this school, and that ain't even a long time compared to brothers who've been in here longer than me. But I've been in the school for 7 years, right? Going to school every night. I went to school while I was in school. Like, I went to school and became a water operator. You know what I mean? I got my water operator license. I was taking classes at night at a college at Del Tech. I was taking night classes all while I was still in school. We come to school Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Monday, Tuesday, all day, every single day. We go to barbecues. We around learning. You know what I'm saying? We go on a trip to another city where the ISUPK is at, and we're learning. We never get away from learning. So you would have to understand that we ain't no dumb niggas in here. Right? The sisters that's in here aren't dumb. Right. We're not stupid. I'm gonna tell you what is stupid is our people listening to that stinking pastor that don't know nothing. That's right. They give all their reverence to that nigga because he got a goddamn degree in theology. He a theologian. You was right? He was a theologian. You got taught by Kenneth Copeland. You know what I'm saying? You got taught by, Joel Osteen. Somebody that Creflo Dollar. That's who taught you, and all they doing is teaching you how to lie to people. Right? Opening up our goddamn mail and reading our goddamn mail. How are you going to do that? That's really what it is. Because when you look at the Bible, that's really all it is just mail that's sent to this school. This is a letter from Paul to the school, the brothers in Corinth. This is a letter from Paul or a letter from whoever. In the scriptures, it's letters. You can't take a letter and then try to read it and then say, okay, well, this is what it means. If the letter ain't written to you. You know what I'm saying? Nobody would even do that today. That's like one of the things that nobody does. You ever notice that? Like if you get mail to your house, you don't even open it, do you? You don't open it because it's just one of those things that everybody just understands. Like you just don't open somebody's mail. If you get the wrong mail to your house, it'll sit up there on the damn counter. Hey, you ain't opening up nobody's mail. That's just the way we just are. You know what I mean? Open it. It don't got my name on it. It ain't got nothing to do with me, right? But they took our mail back. The oppressor took our mail and just opened it up and said, hey, see, this is talking about all people. When it wasn't. All right, man. Let me see. Anybody got any questions in the room? Yeah, you was right, Angela. You was right about array meaning to fight against America, right? What's this? Who this? Tawap Yala? Okay, right. And so this is today's class, man. Today's class was just, to show brothers and sisters, man, that we can learn from Afghanistan. Right. We can learn from the Afghan men and who fell from that plane. Right? We can learn from them. And what we should learn is that, there is no trust in the oppressor because in the minute that he's ready to pull out, he will. Right. He will roll and leave you hanging with the bag, right? Leave you hanging, and you won't have anything to do about it. You'll just be like, well, I thought they were cool. I thought. You don't want to be that brother, the I thought brother, right? So you should definitely, we should definitely learn from them, and we should learn those lessons, and so that we don't have to repeat those lessons and learn them the hard way, right? We gotta get away from that. We gotta get away from learning the hard way. We got, because that's how we like to learn. We like to learn through the knowledge of good and evil, and the Lord don't want us to learn like that, So that's definitely something that we have to change. Let me see. I think this. Go ahead.
If I may, and that's the mark of the beast. Like go back to what you were saying earlier about that pilot who may have had should I keep this order or no?
Yeah.
You got that order. That's that information, and your hand made you put that throttle so that plane can go.
Hey, look. So the pilot. He's seen the people hanging from the windshield. He's seen the two men hanging on the windshield wiper, and he was like, he puts that throttle up. You push that joint, and you start going, and then you start lifting up in the air, and he was just like this, looking at him, and the dude's like, and then he just couldn't hold on no more, it just fell off, and you just keep on going. You just, no humanity at all, right? I mean, that kind of stuff right there. I mean, you got dreams about that kind of stuff. Go ahead.
You know what, sir? When I first seen it, right, I just saw the plane and stuff falling from it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, okay, they're giving them relief.
Mm-hmm.
They giving them some rice.
Yeah.
No, it was people falling the hell over.
Yeah, they was dropping people on them. Yeah, dropping people on them. I mean, look at that, man. I mean, look at that. Yeah, dropping people on them. Huh? What was they thinking? That's what we've been talking about the whole class. What they was thinking was that America was going to save them. And America.
I'm talking about what the hell was they thinking holding on to the plane?
Because it was desperation.
You was gonna fall off.
But out of that desperation, you tend to do stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're so desperate, because the God that you believed in, which was the God of the desert, right? You gave that God up, and you believed in the God of the oppressor. And the God of the oppressor let you fall from a plane. And why? Before you hit that ground, you understood that the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of. Right? And that's what they understood. They got disillusioned at the last minute. Once they really saw everything like really, going down, and the Taliban was like, up, right back. Soon as they got back, they started painting over the images that America had, because they had like images of women without their burqas on. And then another point is the general brought out that it wasn't no women out there at the airport. It was just the men out there. And he pointed out that they do have order. You ain't see like the women out there. Like if that had been us, I mean, I don't want to even say that like that, but you would have had women on a goddamn plane hanging on to the plane. Right? Black Lives Matter. Boom. Right? Yeah.
They also, so like you said about May, did you hear about when they got to to their destination and they looked in where the wheel is?
Mm-hmm.
It was somebody in there.
Oh, he lived?
He lived? Hell no.
Oh.
He was crushed.
They wasn't thinking that.
So if you willing to die, you might as well just die fighting. Right. This is what those people understand now. This is clearly, and I'm going to end it with this. This is what they clearly understand now, right? The Afghan people. They understand now that the oppressor ain't SHIT, right? And they fully well understand that they have to do what the Taliban tells them to do now. You better get on the Taliban's good side because they are in power right now. And all of that stuff that's been going on, it's about to be over. And they bringing all of it back. Sharia law, that's what they call it, Sharia law. They bringing all that back because that's their God. And this is what they represent. And those people that was helping America this whole time, thinking that they was going to, get somewhere by helping America, all got disillusioned in the end. And at some point, they're all going to be found out, and they all going to end up getting killed anyway because they were traitors to their own people. They sold out like every other nation did to the oppressor. They sold out. And what happens when you sell out to the oppressor? You end up hurting for it later. A lot of the Africans sold out to the oppressor, right? They sold out to the oppressor by selling us into captivity. And what happened? They on feed the children right now. You know what I mean? They in a bad spot, because you were disillusioned. Now you're disillusioned now because now what the oppressor's taking all the rubber. He's taking all the rubber, all the different minerals for cell phones, all kinds of good stuff that, the Africans are sitting on top of, right? The diamonds. He didn't took all the diamonds out of there. It's over, right? So now that you're disillusioned, now you want to try to say, okay, he's the devil, but too late now, right? So hopefully we can learn something from the Afghan people. Hopefully we can learn that the oppressor is the devil this Bible speaks of. And if you don't know that, then I don't know. You got some work to do. Let me see. That's why their president left. Yeah, that's right. He did leave. He got on the first thing smoking. He didn't even go down with the ship. He just straight up just got on the plane. hey, those of you, he got on the plane and went to sleep. He got on the plane and put, you know how you put the thing around your neck? he put the thing around his neck and was like. And they wake me up when we get to Jordan. Wake me up when we get to Jordan. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, so hopefully, man, y'all learned something today, man, and we gotta do better. All right. With that being said, I'm gonna turn the class over to Precinct Officer Thashiem.
We have the ISUPK security announcement. Rule for new brothers and new sisters. When a new brother or new sister come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the head. Tithing, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 to 21, Malachi 3, 8 through 10. Ma'asharah means a tenth in Hebrew. That means a 10% of every penny and every increase that you get, give it to the Lord. Priest fund, which is not mandatory. It's a free will offering, not mandatory. Up in Holy Convocations, we got September the 6th, on Monday, September the 6th, we got the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets. And we got the cookout coming up. If anybody want to go to the cookout is this weekend. So you need to get there. Check out the itinerary online. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, and headband and scarf and saying that, Amijam. We're going to give Precinct Officer Tazayawan a courtesy salute. Amijam Shabbat. Amijam. Barak. Yahaba Hashem Yahashah Barakathon. Yat Yom Matah. Sar. We're going to give the sisters a courtesy salute. Sisters. Amijam Shabbat. Amijam. Barak. Yahweh Shema Adon Ba'Hashem Yahushai. Yad Yom Matah. Class dismissed. I saw you.